Hmm. All right, here we go.
Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!"
Jesus.
No idea how I got so barbaric.
This is the police. Others. Day 1. City Hall confirms rumors of Jack Boyd's resignation and Mayor Rogers' sex maniac. The fact. Bark War 2 to be shown in Freiburg the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freiburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same: play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Good morning. Yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise, or did you know about it in advance? The mayor discussed it with me. Mayor Rogers told me that wants a fresh face running Freebird PD. So no, it didn't come as a surprise. Do you already know the name of your successor? No. Of course not. I don't think the mayor's office knows who it is either. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy Francis Kendrick said he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? Your deputy Francis said he was looking forward to resigning. Perhaps. Sounds possible if he thinks the new office would help him serve the city a little longer. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? No comment. Usually I prefer to answer all your questions, but in this situation, I've got to say, no comment. Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? Definitely not. That's just not possible. Mayor Rogers is a true professional and he makes his decisions carefully. There's no place in our job for hard feelings. Thank you.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick. As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man."
I'll do my best.
"And quit smoking at the office. One of my friends will be using it soon."
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
Civil servants' wages won't be raised this year. Jack Boyd. Only assholes join the mafia. People await a fresh look from the next police chief.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Would you like to receive tips about how the game works? Show me what you've got. Freeburg PD organizes upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress, and detectives continue their investigations to freely move employees between shifts. All detectives and officers possess several important characteristics. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your policeman. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are safe bet, even in a pinch. An individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable their work, and a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after working each day and restore 1 point after each day of rest. Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behavior of your employees. All right. Responding to calls is the bread and butter of police work. You'll need to send your officers to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The further away the destination is from the police station, the longer it will take your officers to travel back and forth. So the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work.
110B in progress.
Hit and run. The easiest way to determine how difficult the task might be is to check how many units you're allowed to send on the call. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. Particularly risky missions give you the option of sending SWAT, but they must be accompanied by at least one officer. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on. All of this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. A mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder, or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. Hit and run. Everyday mail. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless man who's been digging through the trash can. The driver jumped out to help. Once he saw that he hit a bomb, he got back in the van and quickly drove away. Zubaki and Price are out on the case.
311A in progress.
A fight. The theater manager reports that during the showing of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theater carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theater security guard. Report. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies, but the truth is, sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than the living ones. Offender escaped, officers unharmed. Damn. Fight report. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed.
910 in progress.
Armed robbery. Three teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed a videotape store and made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is one Janet Brown, who lives in the suburbs.
in progress.
Fight. Johnson, Jurgen, and Ketzloff, a brother and sister, clashed with each other over their deceased father's will. According to one of their lawyers, we don't dare separate them, and our security guard is off duty tonight. Direct orders. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask you how to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up, but don't waste all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. Activate sirens and use them to make a phone to tell them that the house is surrounded. Vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard throughout the living room window. Turn on the siren and loudspeaker and shout that the house is surrounded. Officers, offender caught. Officers unharmed.
311A complete.
Offender escaped. Officers unharmed. Hi babe, welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Very good. End the day. If you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's about to make a mistake. End of the day.
Used to be, when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point, every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. and Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
Construction of Cinema Museum postponed again. Francis Kendrick announces retirement date. Legendary singer Gennaro Crespo comes to Freebird. When a police officer is too tired to be effective, he will ask for a day off. Sometimes officers will request days off even when they're at full strength. Some of the reasons you'll hear are far-fetched, while some are very serious. Don't overindulge your subordinates, but don't antagonize them either. Remember that everybody's got secrets, and you've got to make sure these guys have your back. What am I eating? Cashews, whole cashews. In addition to their performance ratings, police officers also possess rank. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank with 1, 2, or 3 stripes. Once a week, you can pass out stripes and improve the rank of any employee. If you think that no one is worthy of the honor some week, you can postpone the ceremony until later. Insignias won't go out until your people are ready. Yum? Yeah. Real good. It's like perfect amount of salt on every cashew. Delicious. Employees of rank not only increase in professionalism, but also learn to command. Whenever a ranking officer is on the scene, his or her colleagues are more likely to perform better than usual. Sometimes when cops get rank, they start thinking more seriously about their service. This means less drinking and more time spent on the job. Some of them might even turn out to be dependable. Look at Bert, she looks so sad. Alright, let's give out a stripe to Vandal. Leave one of them for the second day in order to balance the teams. Alright. Alright, start the day. Freeburg isn't one of those cities where you listen to what they say, or nothing at all. You can always select any song from your collection and play it at any time, just like in real life. Well, the life of your grandfather. Yeah, we'll listen to the Nocturne, why not? Let's learn how to hire and fire cops. You have a certain number of paid job openings for which you can hire any available applicant. Job slots are separated between officers and detectives. Want to free up a slot? Time to fire somebody. If you have legal grounds for termination, no one will ask any questions. You might need to fire them anyway. Legality be damned, but that could land you in additional proceedings. And your other staff will become more worried about keeping their jobs than they are about actually doing their jobs. Another way to free up a slot is to have a police officer killed. But that's not really a valid option. Right? Fire legally. Didn't come to work, came to work drunk, too old, failed 3 assignments in a row. He's too old. Goodbye. Vandalism. Even a single experienced cop can go to the kids. We received a frightened call from the local cathedral. This morning, the abbot discovered that someone entered the old cemetery during the night. The old yard's tombstones are painted with satanic symbols, and some have even broken into pieces. The seams are even marked from a shovel, but the abbot would say no more. Vandalism. Businessman Harley Jones, looking out his window, saw 2 teenagers scratching offensive slogans on his new car. And Roy. Offender caught, officer unharmed.
1210 in progress.
Suspicious individual. Eddie's Burgers. A waitress named Milo reports that she just served a chicken Eddie and Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal who she's seen on television just this morning. The culprit is sitting at the window eating a burger. Offender escaped. Wow. Mr. Boyd. My bouncer stuffed himself with Mexican food again, and now he can't get off the can. Meantime, the line outside the club is stretching around the block. We need someone outside who can tell the cool guys just from the punks. Alright, send Robbins. False alarm. The waitress had mistaken retired officer Frank Nero for the fugitive in question. An anonymous call just came in. A clown carrying balloons at the skating rink is selling crack to teenagers. Vandal and Samadhi. Sorry, Chief, but I quit. In one night, I pulled in more cash than I earned a month working at this stuff. Mr. Sorkin said he wouldn't mind taking me on. I guess I just wasn't cut out to be a cop. Thanks for your help, Mr. Boyd. $4,500. Suicide threat. A naked man carrying a canister of gasoline is threatened to set himself on fire unless his favorite chewing gum becomes popular again.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
As police arrive, a clown is seen making balloon animals for the kids. Carefully watch the clown, take the clown under the ice and round up any witnesses, cover up in a raincoat and pretend to be an illicit customer. Get them into the rink and gather witnesses.
1111.
Offender caught, officers unharmed. Nice.
411 complete.
Offender caught, officers unharmed. Robespierre to reveal his identity when the time is right. Enemies using feminists to destroy Freebird. Feminist organization denied official registration.
Whenever I'm alone at home and there's a knock at the door, I always hope it'll be my wife, Laura. She's always forgetting her keys.
Hello, my name is Steve, and you're Jack Boyd, is that right?
To get to my front door, the Bible boys walked about a mile from the local bus stop, jumping over mud puddles and skirting a couple of landfills. Laura doesn't go in for religion either, but according to her, these brave lunatics with their fake smiles deserve at least a minute of attention. She patiently listens to them, asks them questions, regales them with pastries, and never once dropping a hint of condescension. When I watch her do it, I've got to admit it gets me. I'd have hugged those boys, sat with them on the porch and lit up a cigar. But a month after Laura left, all I could do was quietly ask them not to bother me. Today I'm a little rougher still. Shut the door on his nose this time. Another couple weeks at this rate and I'll be greeting anyone who comes close with my service pistol pointed towards the sky, ready to fire my warning shots.
Jesus.
In my life,
Gonna shoot her
even the
fucking-
basic stuff never goes like it's supposed to. Normally, when a wife is going to leave home, she'll make a scene, or at least sit everyone down for a serious conversation. But Laura just disappeared. The children in the stories always stand on the side of the mother, but all three of our sons supported me. The in-laws always blame the husband for making their daughter unhappy. But now Sally, Laura's mother, well, we sort of have a pact. The fellow Laura ran off with is young enough to be her son. I hear he's 30 years old. Of all the possible information a man can know about his wife's lover, I get hit with that. Fortunately, Laura's mother doesn't like the way it sounds either. Sally figures this guy just thought he'd have some fun with a mature woman, but he'll be back chasing college girls before the year is out. So we have an agreement. Sally's gonna track down Laura and try to reason with her, and we'll arrange a meeting. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to not do anything stupid, which of course means anything at all. It's a crazy situation. I'm the police chief, and the person I'm trusting to find my wife is an old woman armed with a phone book. But I can't afford to lose Sally as an ally. So for the moment, I had to swallow my pride.
Hello.
Mrs. Markham, this is Boyd.
Oh, is there any news?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Have you found anything? An address, phone number? Have you spoken to her?
Don't worry, Jack. I've narrowed the range to 2 suspects, or whatever you like to say at your police building.
At my police building, we find people faster than a funny old woman chirping on the phone with my wife's girlfriends.
Oh, you're an old man, Jack. Come to your senses. They'd give us straight odds on the street. But I've got more energy, Jack. Maybe you think I'm a foolish old woman, but I go to my book club, argue with the girls about Byron, and it gives me energy. I talk to my dogs, and it gives me energy. And you have nothing, Jack. You don't even have a hobby. You got no passion. It's why Laura left you.
Let's not go back into that, Sally. Find my wife, and we can discuss my hobbies later. I'm waiting for your call, and my patience is running thin. Laura, if you've stopped loving me, I'll let you go. I can't expect the impossible from you. Just don't let me die out here, okay?
Damn, that's rough. Shift B. Let's give Tsubaki a promotion. Start the day. Billabong. Fire all black cops. A racist gang has recently made some trouble in the city. They're capturing black townspeople and beating them to death. They recently sent a message to a local radio station promising to kill all the black doctors, firemen, and police. We don't need any more dead police, especially not mere months before the election. The racists are getting more and more followers, and even some of our citizens support them. You have to fire all your black employees over the next 2 days due to mounting racial tensions. Wow. Destruction of property, City Hall parking lot. A member of the city's cleaning crew saw an elderly man approaching some expensive cars in the parking lot carrying a long iron rod. The whole street could hear him shouting, "Bastards, thieves, bloodsuckers." If someone commits a serious crime and flees the scene, the case goes to your detectives. Homicide. They investigate the crime scene, interview witnesses, and gather whatever information seems pertinent. One of your detectives will be lead investigator on the case. You can assign additional detectives to any case work under the lead investigator as subordinates. The more professional the lead investigator, the more effective the team. Send all three of them. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven cops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cops. 2 detectives, 3 detectives. Who has the least amount of experience? Like Shift A does. Alright, well, you're fired. Oh. Fire illegally. Fire illegally. Fire illegally, alright. So we need another detective for shift 2. Sorry, we need another detective for shift A. And then we need another cop for shift B. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cops there. And they have good stats. And they have bad stats. So Officer Herc needs to go to shift A. He's already going to shift A, so they'll have 2. They'll have 2. This one can go to, actually, 150, 100. This has 200, and he has 250. So let's get him to go to shift A. Him to go to shift B. Done. Carjacking. Gas station surveillance camera recorded a car that's on the stolen vehicle list. Oh, that's kind of far, huh? Koichi and Asano. Actually, let's send Koichi and Yancy. And Price. Homicide. Detectives have interviewed witnesses, collected evidence from the scene, and are pursuing the investigation. Expect results. Clues. Sequence. Eric Graham, a drunk witness. They drove by in a sedan and they shot like a machine gun. I didn't see much. Okay. I only heard a few muffled shots. He got what he deserved. He's been causing trouble for a long time. Recently, there's been a lot of cursing and carrying on. I remember the car. The neighborhood was quiet. I never heard any shots. The policemen these days don't do nothing. I almost died myself. I went to buy some medicine and was nearly hit by some idiot's car. Alright. Report. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Nice. Accomplished. Jack, keep up the good work and we'll make sure your final days at Freeburg PD are much more comfortable. Nice.
in progress.
Suspicious individual. Corey Ramsey, mother of several children, has expressed her concerns about a suspicious man wearing bifocals, seated on a bench beside a playground. He's been watching the children for over an hour and has taken several photographs of them. That's weird. Let's get Tsubaki and Austin working on this.
We've got a situation here.
Carjacking suburb. The driver is nowhere to be seen. Search the car, wait at a safe distance for the driver to appear, and interview any potential witnesses. Wait at a safe distance for the driver to appear.
113 complete.
Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Nice.
Complete.
Suspicious individual. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Very good. Dragon's Lair Club. Mr. Boyd, I'm opening Freebird's first martial arts club, and for my first exhibition, I want to hold a sparring match where one of my students takes on your toughest cop. After the fight, I'll teach your man a few tricks, something that will help him out on the streets. Yeah, send Asano. Your detectives present frames, different versions of what might have happened at the crime scene. You've got 3 new frames from Detective Mole. Open up investigation. They get it wrong half the time, but a good cop can separate fact from fiction if they know how to look at case materials. The more professional the detectives working on an investigation, the better their instincts. To get to your suspects, you'll need to figure out the true sequence of events at the crime scene, using the frames you think likely, sometimes with a little guesswork thrown in. If you add it all up but the sequence fails, you're probably telling the wrong story. Car there and drove away. The car was there, he shot, and he drove away. Right? Or we do this? No? We do this? No. This? No. This? No. This, that. I don't know how this works. That's what I think, alright. Kevin's Throat Bar. A bartender reports that a couple dancers started fighting over tips and a cat fight broke out on stage. Koichi, get in there. Tsubaki, get in there. Price, get in there. You know what? No. Koichi, Purdy, and Tsubaki. Proceed.
311A in progress.
Octopus Restaurant. Fight. Bartender reported that a fight has broken out between a patron and the bar's bouncer. The man, apparently drunk, had climbed onto the stage while a local singer was performing and tried to sing a duet with her. Nancy and Austin. On the stage are two strippers going at it. It's gone beyond arguing into a full catfight. The bouncer is fast asleep, clearly too wasted to handle the situation. The drunken patrons are happily watching the fight. Listen, girls, cut the crap or this is gonna get serious. Draw your service weapons, shut off the music and turn off the lights. Shut off the music and turn off the lights. The strippers continue fighting, oblivious of the police presence. Ask the bartender for a bucket of cold water and throw it on the combatants.
311A complete.
Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Chief, I just about nailed the Jap a couple times, but he was too fast for me and one on points. I don't really understand all the rules, so I can't keep track of points very well. But he was alright. He even showed me a few tricks after the match. I got carried away a little and pulled my back. Think I can take the day off? So I was worth 200 now. End of day. Yeah.
Hungry?
Sure. Thank you. Chinese food. Nice. Jack Boyd fires black police officers by order of City Hall. Retired police officer Thomas Blaine shoots pregnant woman. Mayor Rogers, city has no problem with racist.
Why would a man need a barn? To store all the stuff you can't bring home. About 30 years ago, back when I was young and interested in farming, I carried all kinds of junk home. After a day in the field, I'd come home with buckets, shovels, dirty boots and clothes, and instantly transform the living room. But even back then, there's something I always kept in the barn. I stopped keeping my pills inside the house because every time I was about to take a triple, someone would knock on my bedroom door. Now they're knocking on my barn door. Well, fine. It's not every day that someone comes to visit your barn. In all the years we worked together, Kendrick never came to visit the house. We drank at bars, went fishing, went to the mountains, even chased off some poachers one time. But he never came for dinner with the family. We never watched football over here. And now he's brought his friends to visit my barn. I always try to look unsurprised, like it's an everyday thing to get visitors at the old barn, especially guests with their own personal bodyguards. But Kendrick is sharp enough to see he's caught me with my pants on backwards.
Sorry for the surprise, Jack. We saw you from the car. Figured we'd find you in here. I'm going in for a minute, fellas. These guys will wait outside.
How long you been dating the lover boys?
They're Sans people, Jack.
Yeah. So now you're appearing in public with members of the Mafia?
Jack, I'm leaving tonight. More like fleeing. Jenny and I are taking the girls and making a run for it. Probably won't be seeing each other again. I've got new documents, a new name, a new life, everything new.
The papers say you're still working your last week for the department.
I've got to get out today. I won't be getting another chance. don't know if you noticed, but the whole city is against me.
You told your mafia friends about your plans.
Jackie, if I don't fix everything with them in the next few hours, they're going to kill me. And not just me, my family, my relatives, God, Jack, I don't know who else. They found out that I was planning to run and they demanded that we close our contract today.
Your contract, Frank? Really? Is that how you talk now? Maybe you should call in the lawyers to straighten all this out.
Now is not the time, Jack, please. I have a commitment to them until the end of the year. They need an inside line at police headquarters. I can't just give them back the money. That's not how the mafia works. If I can't find someone I can trust tonight, I'm dead. You know me, Jack. I wouldn't ask you if I wasn't afraid they'd cut my daughters to pieces before sunrise.
He's the damn fool who puts his daughters in the crosshairs in the first place. Anyone in my place would have dressed him down good. But I didn't want to pile it on. Fate's already got this guy's soul in the grinder. Give him my phone number and tell him it's done. Don't call me. Don't come to work today. I don't want to see or hear from you again. Time for you to go.
Jack,
Get the fuck out of my nice cozy barn, Frank. At the time, I was trying not to think about what just happened. It was almost too much to take in. I'm probably the most popular police chief in the history of the city, and I have to admit, I've thought about that more than once, sometimes with a little pride even. In one of the features they wrote about me in the papers, they said it pretty plain. He catches the criminals. Believe me, high praise like that is unheard of in Freeburg, especially for a cop. And here I am, the person who catches criminals, and I've agreed to help the mafia, or I'll come home to a bag stuffed with my kids' body parts. Right before the last hammer falls. Hey, remember that cop who caught criminals? It turns out he was a mafia bitch. And all for the sake of a greedy, corrupt cop who should have fled the country years ago. That sound right to you?
Sterling didn't come into work today. I drank too much. I don't think I can hold it together today. Can I go home? No. Some pipes in my house busted and I need to wait around for the plumber. Can I take the day? Yes, but come tomorrow. No matter your personal relationship with the city's administration, your police station is at their mercy. In order to maintain reasonable working conditions, you have to send appropriate requests to the mayor. Decisions from City Hall depend on whether they're satisfied with your work. You can send requests every 5 days. The fools in charge of the city might refuse outright, or accept only some of your requests, so only ask for what you really need.
She said if you want my fricassee, you'll have to run me down.
Disorderly behavior summary. Let's see. Alright, officer and SWAT upgrade. Disorderly conduct. Send at least 2 good cops.
I'm Alabama bound.
Every morning there's a piss-soaked bum sleeping at the cafe. The man refuses to go away and growls at anyone's approaches, scaring all the customers.
I followed you round from town to town. I'm Alabama bound. Don't you leave me here.
Robbery. A witness looked on from a window while an armed man with a stocking on his head entered a nearby liquor store. Fight. Actually,
We've got a situation here.
oh, nice. Good job, Bong Dahana. Jack, this year the organizer of the Golden Beast Hunt suddenly changed the rules of the annual shooting contest. It now features teams instead of single competitors. Can you send me 2 of your finest marksmen? I'd really love to do well in competition. Okay. These 2. Robbery. An antique Chinese necklace was stolen from Bao Liang while she was on the way to the pawn shop. It's a hot one today, and a lot of people are going for a swim. Last week, 4 people drowned on the beaches of Freeburg, and the press was in uproar. Please send someone to keep an eye on things. Roy. Nice. Here's your week's salary. City Hall hopes we don't disappoint.
212, 311A complete.
Wayman Mushan Aleo was killed in a car accident. According to preliminary reports, it appears he was drunk. Nice. We just lost our fucking detective. Destruction of property. At a gallery exhibition entitled Sex Operation, a gang of young people in ski masks forced their way in and began smashing exhibits, shouting, "We don't need this shit in our city." Damn. We did it, Boyd. We won. The Ernest really knows a lot about shooting. He even taught us a thing or two. He invited us out to hunting to celebrate the victory, so we'll be taking the day off. We deserve it. Damn it. Got in a difficult financial situation. I was going to pawn an antique necklace, which has been in my family for many centuries. As I was carrying the necklace to the pawn shop, someone ripped the bag off my shoulder and disappeared. I didn't have time to do anything, not even cry out. So, this, that. One Yin Lane, Chinese immigrant, recently expelled from university. Detectives have information on the whereabouts of the suspect. Sometimes there might be a number of locations to choose from. Chinatown. To carry out the arrest, 2 officers must escort the lead investigator to apprehend the suspect. If the lead investigator is not on duty, the arrest will have to wait. But remember that fugitive won't sit patiently until your schedule clears. A frightened thief is likely to surrender as soon as the game is up. A brutal killer might want to see how many he can take with him. With more dangerous criminals, it's safer to extend experienced officers and even the SWAT team if you see fit. Investigations. Vandalism. Atticus Tower. A guard went out for a smoke and saw a teenager writing obscenities on the wall of the building and chased her out of the tree. You can take it from here. Detective died during the investigation. Oh my god. Everyone's dying. Why are my detectives so shit? Jesus. Case closed. Looks like tomorrow's going to be a long day, more like the first of a lot of long days. There's just too much going on. Thomas Blaine, pregnant woman killer, sent to mental hospital. According to Dr. Eleonora Waterbury, Thomas Blaine has a new form of schizophrenia. Mayor Rogers not afraid of the competition.
Mr. Boyd, there was a man here earlier. He left you this.
A man? What man? Who let him on this floor?
I don't know. I've never seen him before. I asked him his name, but he just ignored me. He was talking on a big telephone, you know, one of those portables. He gave me this envelope and left.
Damn. Okay, let's see about this. Of course, they could have shot them the second they took the photo. But I knew Kendrick and his family were all right. Either way, the message was not that they got out. It meant that I was in. My servitude to the Mafia had begun. I'd only been in my new position 5 seconds, and I already knew why Kendrick called it a contract. You sound doomed if you call it what it is. A curse. Boyd.
Good morning, Jack. I believe you just received my message.
Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget some people don't recognize my voice. But I assure you, Jack, if I was sitting right there in front of you, you'd have no trouble recognizing me. Like I was a member of your family. Even better than a wife, perhaps. A wife can betray you. No man is immune.
I don't talk to people who don't tell me their names.
Oh, Jack, don't be so childish. You're too old to run away from strangers. Yes, we both are. And in our old age, friendship becomes rare and all the more precious. But of course, we must work with new people and find out new names. So if you insist, Jack, let us formally meet. Hello, Jack Boyd. I'm Christopher Sand.
Wonderful, Mr. Sand. And what is it you do for a living?
Oh, you'll soon find out all about that. Well, you'll learn much more than a simple policeman could ever expect. You're a simple policeman no longer, Jack. Don't turn off your phone. You start today.
Eight in 10. It's been my go-to principle since my first day on the job. I've got to let my colleagues hush up what they need to, 2 out of 10 times, so that they'll help me with the remaining 8. 80 out of 100, 800 out of 1,000. I'm proud of those statistics. It's not so bad for Freeburg, right? But now I just officially became a Mafia whore. I'm supposed to be fearing for my life, for the lives of my wife and children. But the only thing I can think, what's gonna happen to 8 and 10?
I'm too tired. I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? Yes, but come tomorrow. There's a new movie opening today, starring my favorite actor. Can you let me go off so I can go see it? No. No, dude, just fucking go see it the next day or some shit. You can wait one goddamn day. Do your goddamn job. Excuse me. Gang member. Quan Ying Lin turned out to be a gang member of a gang known as the Red Masks. He can help you take down the gang if you make him an informant. Sure. There are a number of gangs in Freeburg, and that means there's bounties to collect. Some of the criminals you come across will be members of one gang or another. In exchange for immunity, they may be willing to give up their bosses. In this way, you can get your hooks into gang members higher and higher up the food chain, and ultimately take down the boss. If you do arrest the boss, the gang will be finished, and you'll get to claim a reward. There's also a reward for formally charging gang members. Whenever you arrest a gang member, you get a bonus, but your deal with that person is over. Don't settle for small fish. You use the small fish to catch the big fish. Some interviews which spoke of atrocity committed by the Great Mask Gang. She embellished the law and restored the facts. You want to keep people from panicking and only take down the gang within the next 4 days. Request approved, officer. SWAT upgrade improved. Decent cops. Also decent cops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna fire Roy. Can I fire Butch? Birch? No. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Prepare for ship B. Two. They have 3. Hire for ship A. Murder. A young employee at the factory got into a fight with the manager. He was trying to push him into a vat of boiling chocolate. don't understand. They're working on a homicide case right now. But I still have no idea what the sequence of events is. That, I think, but I don't know. Archive it. Sure. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Investigation has started.
113B in progress.
Carjacking. Parking lot attendant Dylan Burns reported seeing a teenager walking between cars trying handles in hopes of finding an unlocked vehicle. Before the attendant could approach him, the teenager found an unlocked door and shot himself inside. A few seconds later, the teen drove shrieking from the parking lot, greatly exceeding the speed limit. He fled towards the suburbs. Koichi and these two olds people. Actually, let's take Koichi, Asano, and Birch Jr.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
Let's see. Overtake police car and try taking target into custody.
113B complete.
Nice.
710A in progress.
Hostage situation. A weeping child called in saying that someone was holding him against his will. They won't let me go outside. They torture me and bully me. I don't think I can keep going. I want to go outside and see Pete. The parents. Fuck that. Joseph Lowry's mother wouldn't let him go play until he ages properly. Theft. Rubinovich Casino. We received a call from an angry casino patron. He claims that one of the casino girls that was hanging around his table lifted his wallet, which is carrying a couple of thousands of dollars in cash and several credit cards. Casino security shoved him outside, saying that he was drunk, but the man isn't giving up so easily. Alright. Tsubaki, take Spankle and Butch Jr. No, okay, just take Spankle. Sure. Jack, we're dealing with a moron who refuses to pay his debt, says that the police will protect him. I think it's time we show him whose side the police are on. Nice. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. assault with a deadly weapon. After at a parking lot exit, a security guard stopped a suspicious-looking van and asked to check the driver's membership card. The female driver reached casually into the glove compartment, then pulled out a gun and opened fire. A police cruiser has caught up with the perpetrator's van. Shoot out the criminal's tires. Use the bullhorn to order the van to stop. The van takes a sharp turn and crashes through the window of a sex shop. A woman exits the vehicle, grabs the shop attendant, and puts a gun to his head. Let go of that man right now! Throw a rubber sex doll at the assailant. Shoot the criminal in the head. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Great work. Three new frames. She shows up, unlocks the door, goes in, something else happens, but we don't know what. Info. We don't know what the A stands for. You know what? I should fire this person. Yeah, I'm gonna fire Price. Then I'm going to hire Phyllis for shift 2. Next day. Investigation into Francis Kendrick could resume. Racist gang runs wild in city. Second tower to be built in Freeburg.
The people of Freeburg have built up a tolerance for the petty horrors of modern life. You'll never see crowds gathering around a beaten passerby. Folks rarely even slow to gawk at a car accident. And street theft doesn't turn heads anymore. Been a long time since people got worked up about stuff like that. So when I ran into a troubled crowd on the way to work, I knew there was something serious going on. Something bad enough to knock these people out of their daily rhythm. And we're talking about people who would step over a corpse if it was blocking the door to the coffee shop. But apparently all it takes is a bunch of leaflets, or spreading broken glass across Main Street, or releasing a couple of hundred rats in the ice arena. The mysterious figure taking responsibility for these strange acts goes by the alias Robespierre. Nobody knows who he is, what he wants, or what all this adds up to, from the buckets of lard spread on the sidewalk to the front door of City Hall covered with ostrich feathers. But this strange cross between childhood pranks and cheap theatrics has got the people all worked up. Everyone understands when some Freeburg crook satisfies the basic human need to rob and kill. But when someone steals a lion from the local zoo and locks him in a cell below the courthouse, the people start asking questions. Myself, I kind of like this Robespierre. It's not just the pranks he's pulling or his green bull's head emblem. I just like his funny nickname. Robespierre? Really? Who does that make me? The Marquis de Lantenac? I don't think so. In the old books about revolutions, I fancy myself the old gunner who goes off to war with a bag of damp powder. Or maybe the innkeeper who tops up the beer kegs with mop water. It's something to think about.
Drink some mop water, you peasant. Martin Stett is your new deputy. I'm too tired, I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? Yeah, that's fine, Cheryl. It's my dog's birthday. I want to spend the day with her at the park. Can you let me off? No, Birch. Today they're offering free admittance to all the museums in the city. I'm a big fan of art. Can I take the day off? No. New records can be obtained as a gift or as a thank you for your service, but why wait when you can refill your collection now? In the Orwix List catalog, you can always find a rich assortment at the lowest possible prices. Pre-order and save. Why would I want to listen to music? That's just wasting money for my retirement. The Mafia can offer you some very interesting services. You're practically a member of the family now, so it will hardly cost you a thing. The Mafia will falsify a special crime and progress report, and all the officers arrive at the scene will be killed. Mafia will falsify a special investigation, and the detective who arrives at the scene will be killed. Your new assistant is no Kendrick, but he's not as useless as he might seem. He can handle some of your duties when you're pressed for time, but lunch is on you, along with any other expenses. Send employees to an informal outdoor party. Send your staff for training. Hire a snitch. Alright. Two detectives dead, 2 detectives fired, 4 officers fired. Actually, homicide, detectives, they're all the slots. You should be first. You should be second. So wait, they're all slots. Archive it. Reopen the case. Put Beasley in charge, Kodu in command, and Drebin following.
911 in progress.
Theft. Once the patrol arrives, the officers will ask for your advice. It's best to select officer to catch the boys. Send 2 officers, including one with about 200 points. Otherwise, the boys will escape. Alright. Grant and Rushing. Proceed.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
Teens are standing around smoking not far from the store, admiring their new shoes. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Attempted murder. Send 3 men, leave the last weakest one for the next task. Okay. We're else in the premiere Back to the Future. The film's distributors asked the city for an officer and stand at the door and ensure the visitors don't bring their handheld cameras into the theater. Alright, this is a job for you, Birch. Rushing. Grant. Rushing and... Hunk. Mafia assignment. Jack, we have something going down to the engineering plant. 2209. We won't mind these policemen crashing the party. I think $4,000 should be enough for such a request. Nice.
In progress. 412A complete.
Actually, let's use these two. Well, Pongdana hasn't seen any action today, so him and... let's do Vandal. Help Eric Bieber, and he thinks let's give a Gennaro Crespo album, The Master. True, Graham prefers glam. So she was really sad and was at the bar by the time the shift ended. Thanks for your help, Mr. Boyd. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Disorderly conduct. All the lights are on when the police arrive. The museum caretaker explains that he's only had the job a couple of weeks. He's worried he's going to be fired over this foolishness. The police calm him down and he points to the bathroom stall that the artist locked himself inside of. Come out with your hands up. A terrified and tearful young man holding a knife insists that he's engaged in some kind of performance art and that no one understands him, and he refuses to surrender and is threatening to stab himself. Tell me more about your work.
210 complete.
Nice.
In progress.
And then we don't send anyone there and we get some easy money. Thank you for doing as we asked. Here's the amount we agreed on, $4 grand. Fender escaped. You got 3 new frames from Detective Beasley. Shot like a machine gun, I didn't see much. Muffled shots. Sedan. So, probably this. Frame. That? No? Aha. Travis Horton, a known racist who already has several previous convictions. Send the SWAT team. Jack, you must have seen the newspaper stories about Thomas Blaine, the retired cop who went schizophrenic and shot a pregnant woman. To ensure this tragedy doesn't repeat itself, we decided to conduct psychological testing for all the cops over 50 years of age. That includes you, Jack. Tomorrow morning, Dr. Eleonora Waterbury is waiting for you in her office. Don't be late. Offender caught. You were able to arrest all suspects. Nice. End of the day. Checkpoint. Mysterious Robespierre announces political ambitions. City Treasury doles out $90,000 for Mayor's birthday. 6 new restaurants to appear in city by year's end. Mr. Boyd, this is a very simple test. I'll show you a card with an abstract image. You just look at them and tell me what you see. Huh. Two natives beating the drums? A man took a handful of tablets in the barn. Sure. Restore. Christmas and a short family story. Man going back to his house, a butterfly, a man with a clock for a face. A man going back to his house. A blue alien raping a pig. Oh my god. A woman decorating a Christmas tree. A man, a tower on a hill, a baby with spider legs, a man giving a woman a Christmas ornament. A tree that's growing human lungs. An automobile accident. A woman dropping the Christmas ornament. Pieces of the Christmas ornament all over the floor. Man yelling at a woman, a chess rook, a man with the head of a rhinoceros. A man yelling at the woman. A woman slapping the man. The man pushing the woman. A woman with a worm skin coat. A woman falling over with the Christmas tree. Thank you for your time, Mr. Boyd. I will inform you about the test result in the coming days. No black employees at City Hall. Mayor says accident. Shea Broom re-elected as Freeburg General Attorney. Major businessmen ready to invest in the future of the city. I'm too tired, I can hardly walk straight. Can I come tomorrow? Can I go home? Yes. Can I go home? Friend just crashed into someone's car at the intersection and she's in terrible panic. Can I go help her out? Yes. And it's playing a charity concert for some sick children. Can I have the day off? No. Stripes. Let's give this to Grant. A few months ago, an unregistered feminist organization appeared in Freeburg. Today, they're holding their first protest. As far as we know, the organization is backed by foreign sponsors, and their goal is to get people into important positions in City Hall. Protests may escalate into something more serious, and we need to show them who's in charge. Use baton and tear gas, even firearms if necessary. Let's show them what intimidation looks like, up close and personal. Mr. Boyd, psyche's in good shape. My only concern is your stress level. My research shows that Beethoven's music soothes and relaxes the nervous system. I recommend you invest in a bit of good old Ludwig van. It will help any violent urges you may be feeling. Tomorrow is the deadline for the Red Mask Gang.
You may prefer a blonde or brunette. I'll take tangerine. Now that we've met, I'll get sweet ginger green. Red is for danger, so untold. I know just what they mean. Gotta be bold, the whole sweet ginger green. She's sweeter than Sue and Georgia Brown. Beats Lulu too when she's back in town. Now she can shimmy like Sister Kate. She's a dancing queen, fit for a king. Swing sweet ginger green.
Feminist protest. Can I select anyone? Game? Are you fucking kidding me? Yes. Turn to the main menu. Story. Continue. Go to work. Can I go home? Yes. Yes. No. Promote, Beasley. We'll forge a letter marked as Jack, we have a problem. The chief prosecutor, Freeburg, is a woman, and it seems she's on the side of the feminists. You might be walking into some serious legal problems, so you better play it safe and take some evidence to shield you from any possible prosecution. Evidence against Christopher G. Sand. We'll forge a letter in which the mafia says the feminist organization is getting in the way of the business and demands you suppress the protest by force. With a threat, they'll go after your family. Do you really want to buy this? Yes. Alright. Test is good. Funeral. Tomorrow's the deadline for that. Investigations. Detectives. Clear all slots. Archive. Reopen the case. Beasley and Kodu. Investigations. Detectives. Calls. Hostage situation. I take these two. Suppress the protest by force. Yes. Alright. proceed. So $48,000 would be enough for the request.
710 910 in progress.
Let's see. Option will start investigation. Scene robberies don't act on the criminal escape and kill a civilian. Send a few men and SWAT. The patrol can ask for backup, but if you send a large team, they should handle it. Jimmy Grainer, Mr. Boyd, today we're installing a new slot machine called Super Magdalene 3. The last time we put in a new one of the bigger kids almost broke it the first day. It would be great if you could send a couple of your men to keep the kids under control. We then return rested.
I was trying to raise TN1, Sergeant Hotspot.
In progress. 910 complete.
Nice. I've been a great boss. In fact, it's been a while since we had that much fun. We hit the hell out of them playing Hellfighter. Disappointed, Jack. We don't know why you did it, but we hope you had a good reason. Don't forget who your friends are. We don't want any more trouble. Nice. Just need to wait for him to get back.
210 in progress.
Ghetto. Disorderly conduct. Complaints the police about her neighbors. They're constantly making a racket and often getting into fights. Always refusing to discuss things with their neighbors. She's called the police again today. She had to go to about 6 or 7 people live there. Sure, send those 3 out. City prosecutors have reason to believe that you seriously exceeded your duties powers in today's time. This protest. We're calling you in for official questioning. Hearing July 25th. Jack, we're about to bring in a large shipment of alcohol, but we've heard that our new partners like to play tough. We need a couple of your guys for insurance. The doctor spots the police, grabs the scalpel, and boldly shouts, "Come on, I'll release your souls from this filthy world." Hit him with the taser.
1210 complete.
Nice.
611 in progress.
A rape.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hot Spot.
Three new frames.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
The door to one of the rooms on the second floor is standing ajar, and through it can be seen a large man holding a crying girl by the neck. He's striking her in the face and shouting, "Shut up, you whore, I paid to you. Now keep quiet." To instruct the men 3 times. Threaten the criminal. Let the woman go, or you're dead. The girl manages to escape, but her pimp leaps for the man, and another fight breaks out. Use the gas. Pepper spray. The man shoves the pimp away, and suddenly jumps out the window. Jump out after him in pursuit. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Offender caught. You were able to arrest all suspects. End the day. Boss, I quit. I just want to spend more time with my family. Whatever, man. See ya, loser. Representative of Orthodox Church may appear in Freiburg. Feminist protest meets angry police. Freiburg authorities halt campaign citing city safety. It's my dog's birthday and I want to spend the day with her at the dog park. Can you let me off? No. Go to the map. Don't forget to prepare for the upcoming meeting with the prosecutors. City Hall. Jack swore an oath to the city. Can't keep your promises, we won't keep ours. Jake Brushing is today a hero, having pulled a drowning Senator Wallace Green from the river. The municipality, on the senator's recommendation, has decided to reward the outstanding officers. Ceremony is scheduled for July 27th. The event will be open to the press, as well as Green's family, who wish to personally thank the police. Make sure nothing unusual happens to the officers, so you're able to attend the ceremony and receive his medal without complications. Detective and a SWAT upgrade. Okay.
A in progress.
Sometimes your officers will arrest only 1 or 2 criminals, but when you're taking down a whole group, it's better to bring a paddy wagon. A truly professional staff can cope without the need for special transport, but most officers prefer a paddy wagon when the situation calls for it. Too bad the department doesn't have the money for one. Ice cream van struck a schoolboy. The ambulance arrived quickly, but the boy was declared dead on the scene. The nearby residents are enraged and demand justice for the driver of the van. He's currently pulled up beside the ambulance. Goichi, go. Jack, some black gangster hit one of our shops. It's too much for us to deal with right now. Can you help?
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
We're going down to the courthouse at 18:30. Wouldn't want any policeman cars to the party. I think $6,000 should be enough for such a request. An elderly man called the police station reporting that terrible screams have been coming from the sawmill for over an hour. The hell is going on there? What's a guy got to do to get a little sleep around here? You better go check it out. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Nice.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
The man is threatening a young woman with a circular saw. The man is screaming hysterically. Aim the weapon at the criminal and order him to release the boy. Offender escape. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. One good officer, 2 medium ones should be enough for this. Koichi, you're up. Basically, the drivers were done for the day. Meanwhile, Mr. Sand dropped off a nice, brand new paddy wagon. It's nice piece of equipment. Too good for the idiots we'll be packing inside. Alright, we've got a paddy wagon. Homicide. Better caught. Officer unharmed, civilians unharmed. Way to go, Koichi. Or Kochi.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Assault. Emergency medical services arrive for a man complaining of chest pains. She shouted wildly. Other personnel managed to escape and called the police. Actually, let's just wait for more people to show up. Knock on the door. Victim is bound and lying on the floor. The assailant is sitting on top of him, moving a syringe filled with an unknown substance. A bottle of bleach is on the floor nearby. Convince the target that you're on his side. Tell us about this conspiracy. The man jumps up, grabs the papers from the table. Everything's written down right here. All the evidence you'll need. They created these medications to control our minds. Well, the Freeburg police will begin an investigation right away. Let's talk down at the station. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Nice. End the day. Good job, everybody. Good job. Day 11. Small drug dealers invaded Freeburg. All City Hall employees awarded company cars for personal use. Freeburg to host semi-finals of Youth Hockey League. Mr. Boyd, why did you send your officers to the feminine protest? We received noise complaints. It's my job. Received noise complaints. In your opinion, did any of the participants of the protest pose any actual dangers to others? It's hard to say. Yes, no, hard to say, I don't know. It's hard to say. You never really know who's dangerous and who's not until it's too late. Mr. Boyd, you're married. Are you not? None of your business. Don't try to bring my family into this. What are your personal feelings about women? The same as men. As far as I'm concerned, they're the same as men. Some women are great and some I don't much care for. Mr. Boyd, did you give the order to suppress the protest by force? Yes. Blame the Mafia. Blame City Hall. Blame the city aside you obtained the evidence. Blame the Mafia. Criminal gang threatened my family, and I had no choice.
In my new role as corrupt official, I had to give up some of my favorite habits. I couldn't turn off my phone when my head ached. Couldn't sleep till noon on Saturday and let the rest of HQ take up the slack. No more days off to go fishing. But my weekly visit to the old Colony Club was more like tradition. One night a week, I absorbed cigar smoke, the vague smell of alcohol, the stench of urine, all mixed with toxic levels of old drunken belches. Same picture it was 30 years ago. Tradition's gotta be honored. And to stay faithful to the tradition, you've got to respect the standard rituals. When you're about to roll out of the club, you need to take a deep breath and count to 100. If your stomach doesn't do a backflip, you should be good to make it home. This time, I only got up to 60. I was interrupted.
Why? You look even better than you do on TV.
There's nothing more impolite than approaching people in the alley at the old Colony. This is the most private place in the city. All who enter here dirty their shoes with the most elite stream of vomit in Freeburg. This asphalt has been blessed by judges, lawyers, artists, businessmen, and all our politicians. Takes a lot of balls to crash the party. My head was a drunken haze, but I knew who he was. A cartoon gangster suit straight out of Dick Tracy. Fancy voice, fruit cologne, sassy strut. That's how the newspapers described Vikas Varga, rising star in Freeburg's criminal underworld. He appeared out of nowhere, and with the support of the local punks, Varga broke all the old rules of organized crime. He killed those who could not be killed, traded what could not be traded, and robbed those who could not be robbed. In just a single month, this man had gathered an incredible amount of power. He's been called everything from a clown to a madman to a criminal genius, and more often than not, he's called a low-class upstart short on ideas. But if Vargas was one of the old crime bosses, he'd have been cut into pieces and fed to the river. Look past this guy's arrogance, and there's something about him. The city is still deciding what to do with him. Meanwhile, he's burning down the houses of old city mobsters. Not the best time to talk, Mr. Varga.
Well, you know my name. I'm flattered, although not very surprised, to be honest. I might be a little short on manners. Like they say in your fair city, with the right manners, you can go anywhere. Well, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay right here.
Even the criminal world needs manners, Mr. Varga. And one of them is this. Don't interfere with a drunken cop who's trying to take a shit and puke at the same time.
Oh, you exaggerate. But is Freeburg always so gentle with its officers? You've been a bit roughed up lately.
I see you already know Freeburg quite well, Mr. Varga.
Well, I love to learn and look around. But I do know that the inhabitants of this fair city should be friends, Jack. Maybe it's true I don't have the best manners. After all, it's only polite for friends to share their phone numbers. This city of yours moves so fast. I feel like I'm hooked on amphetamines all over again. You wake up in the morning full of ideas, and by nightfall, you've all had each other killed. So don't wait too long to call. I don't mind if you're drunk. It's all the more fun. I'll be stoned myself, most likely. Hell, I'm a little stoned right now. It's the only way to live in this place. I like your city, Jack. I'm here to stay.
If it weren't for the phone number written on my arm, I probably wouldn't have remembered the conversation in the morning. But there was no reason to worry. I'd be getting a reminder soon.
Students volunteer to help farmers. Orthodox priest bribe mayor. Greek priest to be appointed head of Freebird Orthodox Church.
My morning ritual was plagued by the smell of Vicus Vargas' fruity cologne. It was like the sharp citrus scent was chasing me around the house, as if Vicus was right there in my living room. When I finally realized the smell was coming from a big basket of oranges, it didn't put me any more at ease. I'd opened my door to lots of threatening mail, evidence of criminal wrongdoing, even a dead ferret or two. But fruit? Never. You the fruit guy?
Excuse me?
Was it you that brought the basket of oranges?
Nah, it was here when I arrived.
Fine. So who are you?
Today, I'm your driver.
And where are we driving?
To work.
That's it?
Yeah, we have to make an important stop along the way.
Where?
The ranch.
What ranch?
Just the ranch.
Fine. The morning seemed surreal, and I took in the magic. Why wreck it with meaningless chatter? As my tight-lipped chauffeur drove an hour through God knows where, I started to feel like I was in the middle of a bad dream, probably lying bloody and concussed in the alley behind the old Colony Club, my nose buried in a rotten orange peel. But no, this was no dream. The silence was real, the sound of the engine was real, the dust was real enough too. And there was the ranch over the horizon. It all seemed familiar. The Sand family's overbearing mansion has been the talk of the headlines for decades, but few have managed to get closer than a few miles. I guess I'm just lucky. I didn't know you took private meetings, Mr. Sand.
Only if I expect good company.
I'm surprised my company ranks at all.
Today, yes. Today is a special day.
So it seems.
Do you often go to the old Colony Club, Jack?
Every week.
Meet any interesting people there?
As a rule, no.
Sometimes you make a date, right? Sometimes make new friends.
Sometimes, I guess. But that's not why I go.
And why?
I consider it a hobby.
A hobby. Do you know anything about my hobbies?
Well, judging by the half-dozen animal skins I stepped on walking over here, it's not much of a reach to say you like hunting.
Love it. Well, I say that now. It seemed so tedious when I was a child. Took ever so long. But now I'm older. I've developed a new talent.
What talent is that?
Patience. The will to wait for the right moment. Let's say you want a deer. You know, you deserve it. You've even decided what dishes its meat will go to and where you'll mount its horns. But to get that deer, you've got to wait. To sit in the bushes and stay nice and quiet. Professional hunters will tell you that the hunt is a rare craft. There are many rules. It's shrouded in mystery and ancient skill. Well, that's all complete nonsense. To get a deer, you just sit on the sidelines for a long enough time, pinpoint the moment when it's finally time to shoot. I learned the talent, Jack, but not like you, oh, Jack. You truly are the master.
I don't understand.
Oh, come on, Jack. I know about the $500,000. I know your plan. Kendrick told me everything. Needless to say, I'm impressed. While some people learn to hold their breath for minutes on end and not to rustle the leaves too loudly, why you decided to just become the foliage. You turned yourself into a bush, surrounded by deer who've been so fruitfully multiplying for decades. But all this time you've held your rifle at the ready. Forgive an old man his imagery, Jack. I've the heart of a poet, I confess.
Look, I don't know what was said between you and Kendrick, but it sounds like you got it wrong.
Oh, I think I understand everything just fine. And I think we understand each other quite well. Jack, in the coming war, we'll make excellent partners.
What war?
One war falls upon every generation. My grandfather drove out the Ambersons back when he was 27. My father destroyed that psychopath gangster, Maurice Bell, when he was a sprightly 30. At 69, I'd begun to think my war had passed me over. But my time has come at last. Tomorrow, Vickis Varga declares war, and I'm obliged to answer.
So, we're talking about Varga now?
I don't know how he thinks. I don't even know whether he plans his actions or not. I can't divine his purpose. Hell, I don't even know where he comes from. He's a man not of our breed, wouldn't you say? But when he arrived here, I invited him in, told him we could work together. An official invitation penned in my own hand and written on some very expensive paper. And can you imagine his reply? A fruit basket. What sense can be made of such a message?
I guess it means whatever you want it to.
Precisely.
I'm late for work, Mr. Sand.
You know, Jack, I could just give you $500,000 right now, cash, whatever denominations you like. But I would never insult you so. If I went stalking my prey for so many years, I wouldn't want someone else to shoot it for me. I understand you, Jack. And I'll never ask you for anything that's contrary to your nature. Just think about our conversation. Think about it. And call me.
Like I said, it's a whole new life, and I've had to give up some old habits. One of them, keeping away from things that don't concern me. Now I can't afford the luxury. This spotlight I'm under, concerns is all I got.
Help Vickis Varga or help Christopher Sand? Now we're gonna help Sand.
Tell him it's Boyd.
Alright, start of the day. No one wants to go home. That's awesome. Salary. Here's your week's salary. Take care of the hero. Don't let anything happen to him. Job slot detective. Nice. Let's hire this person for shift A. Okay. Can improve our SWAT team now. We'll work 3 times a day. Scarecrow. Leaving work, Jack caught sight of a scarecrow with a dagger through its eye. The handle is engraved with the letter S. Sand, probably. Investigations. How are our investigations going? Two informers. Something like that. I don't know. Hmm.
311B in progress.
Massive fight. King Louis nightclub. We received a call from a club manager who said that a brawl broke out in the main hall involving over 20 men. Security are keeping back because some of the combatants are carrying knives. Several wounded are already lying on the dance floor, but no one knows why the mayhem broke out. Alright, send a few men, SWAT team, and the paddy wagon. Down Spanky, SWAT, and paddy wagon.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Alright, send Tsubaki too.
412A in progress.
Assault. Two teens walking the dog down an argument. Eventually, one of them unleashed the dog on the other. The police were called by a girl who was riding her bicycle nearby. Yancy, you're up. And Reed, too.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
Boy struggling on the ground, barely holding off an angry dog that's trying to grab him by the throat. Pulling the dog's collar. The dog lets the boy escape and its owner starts to flee. Order the teenager to halt, run after him, borrow the girl's bicycle. Borrow the bike.
412A.
Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Homicide. Church. See if we can wait for some officers to get back. Then SWAT. Yeah. Fuck it, send everybody. Offenders caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed.
A in progress.
Linda Howard, her words slurred, said the dentist paralyzed her face during her last visit. The monster stuck me with some kind of poison. Arrest him. Yeah, right. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Loot found. Non-automatic weapon. Bring it to the police station or ask the Mafia to sell it. Ask the Mafia to sell it. Why not? The girl was injected with normal painkillers. False alarm. Terrorism. Actually, you know what? Koichi, Yancy, and then the 3 lowest here, and SWAT. Why not? Officers arrived. There's something moving inside the bag. Open the bag. Men are caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Got 3 new frames. Alright, clues. The expense of the necklace was stolen from his family back in the 17th century. Okay. Which table to find her at? Buyer, payment. Never deals in cash. Without body art. Is not to attract too much attention. So he shows up, finds her, gives her the package. No? Okay, she is here. Gives the cash and he takes it and leaves. He takes it and leaves. He walks up, finds her at a table, takes the necklace and leaves. There we go. Officers. Offender caught. Nice. We were able to arrest all suspects. Eliminate the gang. You destroyed this gang. Got a reward for arresting Jin Yang. Nice. End the day. Well done, everybody. Well done. Corn monument to be demolished by summer's end. Chinese gang operating under Boyd's nose for years. All members of the Red Masks under arrest. I was up all night reading an exciting detective story called The Last Temptation of Neptune, but I didn't have time to get to the ending. I'm almost certain that the killer is Commissioner Harrow, but I can't rest until I know for sure. Can I go home and finish reading the book? No. My neighbor died and his wife asked me to help with funeral arrangements. Can I take the day? No. My cats ate some cream past its sell-by date, and they had diarrhea all night. They are better now, but I'd like to spend the day with them. Can I have the day off? No. You kidding me? Freiburg's first mafia war in decades has spread chaos across the streets. Major criminal gangs vie for power, and the outcome of the struggle is impossible to predict. One thing is certain. A couple weeks from now, only one family will rule the city. Jack, keep up the good work, and we'll make sure your final days of Freiburg PD are much more comfortable. Attempted murder. A passerby rang the police when he saw a naked man running through the streets, pursued by a woman carrying a large kitchen knife. The woman shouting, "I'll gut you, you fucking F-word." Okay. So, send Rushing, Birch, and Birch Jr. Birch and Birch Jr.? Wait a second. Don't send the SWAT. 3 officers should be fine. The Sands need help. Varga stirred up some punks and they went and attacked one of the family right in the barbershop. We've already sent our own men, but we don't know how many scumbags we're up against. Can you come join the party, but don't get in our way? Yeah. Send these 2. Report. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Hit and run. An unknown vehicle struck librarian Kimlek Kalawinski at a pedestrian crossing and drove off. The victim was found dead on the scene. Sands need help. Mr. Sands' nephew looked out his window and saw some of Varga's men smashing one of his cars. Looks like someone needs to go remind them that kind of behavior is illegal. Eddie's Burgers. Massacre. A girl entered Eddie's Burgers, ordered a Diet Coke, and started shooting at the other customers with a handgun. The cashier called the police, and in the background there were gunshots and screams. Meanwhile, the crazy young woman is shouting, "I hate fat people." Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Hit and run investigation. Matt Paul, witness. This dark-colored car comes tearing around the corner, hopped the curb, and kept on going. Knocked the man over. Didn't even slow down. Not long before the crash, I kicked a couple of drunks out of the bar. They were having a fight with some of my regulars. A few days ago, Dad had a fight at work with a couple of young people who were causing a ruckus at the library. The whole thing almost came to blows. They threatened him before they left. I saw two people in the car. They went right by me. The man in the passenger seat had a beard. Kimlick thought he was being followed. He said he saw the guy everywhere. Said it looked like someone had problems with him at the library. Armed robbery. The narrow street is blocked by two vans near the armored truck. Three masked men may have surrounded the truck, and one of them is carrying a blowtorch. On top of the roof of one van is a fourth criminal who shouts something to his accomplices as he sees the officers approach. Yell at the criminals. You're surrounded! Surrender peacefully! Criminals take out their automatic weapons and open fire. Their men should hide behind the police cars and respond to fire. Offender caught. Officers unharmed.
311A in progress.
A fight at the dump. Send 2 officers, and then send 2 more.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Hong Donna is our super cop. 3 new frames. What we got so far? Offender caught. Officers unharmed. End the day. Jack, Varga is strong, but he can't compete on equal terms with the oldest criminal gang in Freeburg. Just make sure that Sand stays ahead on points, and we'll have nothing to worry about. City crime rate increased by 31%. Freeburg farmers report record harvests. Mayor's nephew expresses desire to become fire police FPD chief. Can I go home? I'm too tired. Yes, but come tomorrow. Today my daughter is opening an art exhibition. Can I have the day off? No. Start the day. Go to the map. Your share. Your friend sent you your share from the sale of a non-automatic weapon. Share 50% with my staff. No, take everything. Fuck that. Why would I give anything to my staff? Stupid. We need to fire this guy. Yeah, DeBrito, you're out of here, dude. Shift B, Adelaide, you're hired. Sam needs help. 3 officers. These 3. Destruction of property. 2 teenagers broke in steering wheel and currently fleeing the scene. Actually, just these 2. City Hall. Dal and Splanky. Vendor caught. Officers unharmed. Excellent. Koichi, Asano, Tsubaki, Reed. Fuck. Antsy, alright. Fuck. I don't think we're gonna have enough time for this.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Requesting reinforcements on Purdy.
511 in progress.
Fuck. Please. Please come back. I don't know if they'll make it. Come on, dude. Ah, they're not gonna make it. Fuck. Fender escaped. God damn it. Ask the Mafia to sell the gun. Alright. Sands need help. Wait, no. Send Reed. Okay. City Center. And suspicious individual. It's a false alarm. False alarm. Hmm. Sands 4, Vargas 2. End of the day. I'm too tired. I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? Andy's drunk. Yeah, go ahead. I was up all night and couldn't sleep, and now I have this ring in my ears. Can I take the day off? No. I need to take my car to the shop. Can you spare me today? No. Today's a great day. It's the day of my daughter's wedding. Don't wait, can I miss the ceremony? Can I take some time off? No. Yeah, one strike. Who do we want to promote? Let's promote... Hmm. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 men. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 men. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 women. Give it to Weaver then. Go to the map. Please be informed that your employees have filed a formal complaint against you. We are gathering information and familiarizing ourselves with the circumstances of the case. Hire female cops. Considering certain recent events, we are obliged to grant some concessions to the feminists. You make sure that at least half of the staff of the police women are, or at least half of the staff at the police station are women. You have 3 days. Alright. Affairs, police station. How many total men do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 men. Alright, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 women. So we need to hire. You need to fire one man and bring it down to 12, and hire one woman, which will bring it up to 12. So 12 and 12. That's all we need to do. So can we fire someone for being old? Yeah. Birch, you're out. My Bastion. You're in Shift A. Congratulations, you're hired.
411 in progress.
City Hall. I would like another SWAT upgrade. And an officer. Suicide threat. Taxi driver heard someone screaming and noticed a few people gathering on the bridge. As he was driving past towards the port, he stopped to see if anyone needed help. But as he approached, he saw that a man was threatening to throw himself and 2 children in the icy water below. Jason left us. I left my job and my house, and there's no way we'll survive. It's better if everything just ends now. To the taxi driver, it looked like suicide. Alright, Pongdana, take the 2 birches with you. And Herc.
810 in progress.
Breaking and entering suburb. An elderly man speaking in a raspy whisper just reported a break-in. There's someone in my house. They're pounding on the door and marching all around downstairs. Hurry! Nah, false alarm.
Progress.
Disorderly conduct.
Got a situation.
2 tearful boys, clearly in a state of shock, are standing dangerously close to the edge of the bridge. Beside them, their drunk and distraught father is slowly pushing the children closer to the precipice. Don't be upset, my friend. Tell me about your husband. A strong gust of wind almost blows one of the children off the bridge, but he recovered at the last moment and stumbled to the ground with a scuffed knee. Look, quit fooling around. The children have already suffered enough. Man starts his word saying there's no point in delaying the inevitable. Your children have the whole lives in front of them. You can't make this decision. Think about what you're doing. There's people who still care about you.
411.
Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good job. There was no one except the dogs in the house. They were scratching at the door because they wanted to go outside. Archive. Reopen the case. Put Weaver on this. Okay. And destruction of property will be Drebin and Johnson.
210.
Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Loot found. Cocaine. Ask the Mafia to sell it. Stan needs help. Investigation has started. I've been going to Sunday service for 36 years, and this is my first time I've ever seen such a disgrace. Some crazy young man on a motorcycle drove straight through the doors of God's temple and began running around shouting blasphemy. He even dared raise his hand to Holy Father Nunez. What is it with the youth of today?
in progress.
Hostage situation. And SWAT. A man wearing a suit walked into the lobby of a bank, locked the doors, and proceeded to kill several customers. He never said a word. He just started firing at people, according to one eyewitness. A dozen people remain inside the building, and the criminal's demands are as yet unknown.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hot Spot.
Requesting additional reinforcements. Oh, nice. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Amazing job. Got 3 new frames. Okay, so we know he broke into the church. Began running around, shouting blasphemy. Guy drove straight for the pews, almost crushing a parishioner. Then he looked in the confessional, threw in a bottle, and he ran up to me and shouted, "The devil sits on the roof of the church." Then he shoved me. I fell to the floor, and the crazy man shouted, "My hand is as hard as stone. I'll knock you out of the saddle, Satan." And then he threw his helmet at the cross above the altar and sped away. Found traces from 3 motorcycle tires, black helmet with the white spot on it. Instruments so he could hear me. I've sinned so much this week. I was sitting in the confessional, I heard noises of an engine, motorcycle. Then there was a roar, and a man shouted, "Come, Lucifer, do not hide from me." A few seconds later, a young man with black leather jacket opened the door of the confessional and yelled, "I will seek out the devil wherever he may hide." And then he threw a bottle at me. The shard stuck in my face. Wow. 3 new frames. So they probably got into the car, right? That's them leaving the scene. They hit trash cans, I guess? They saw him, jumped over the scene, and fucking got his ass, and then sped away. No? Maybe they hit some trash cans, swerved in, and then drove away. Yeah, there you go. William Holden's Freakers Locos Bars repeated arrest for driving under the influence. Kevin's throat bar. Yeah, we'll go with, we'll take SWAT, because why not? And we'll take, rushing, and Erk. Offender caught. Nice. Arrested all subjects. All suspects, I mean. End the day. Sands 6, Vargas 3. End the day. Businessmen expressed desire to leave city. 86% of residents oppose demolition of Corn Monument. Movie production studio may appear in Freebird. I drank too much. I don't think I can hold it together. Can I go home today? Sure, bud. Yeah, go on. Go ahead, go home. No problem. No problem. No problemo. No problem. You're fired. Goodbye. You were a part of Shift A? Yeah, Art, you're hired. Alright, I'm gonna cut it here, I think. I'm going for a little while. Be a good place to stop for today. I may take a break and play something later, or I might be done for this night. But, I will see. But as always, thank you so much for watching, hanging out, and enjoying the stream. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.